Tēnā tātou katoa. Mairangi tahua James Whenua e tahi o kutau. Huri tēnei no te aroa whānui, no tūhoi, no tainui waka anō hoki. Kua whanake au I raro I te korowai aroha o taku hāpuni o te kautu, o taku iwi o ngā tua kauhe anō hoki. Nā taua wai marie nui ko mātou ko aku whanaunga te whakatinanatanga o ngā wawata nui o tō mātou kainga. Tēnei te whare tapu o te amohau, tahi o ngā uri rangatira e whitawhita tonu ana I ngā whakareanga o kiwi te amohau. Ko tētahi o ngā tino mā tāpono kua noho hei tuapapa I wainga I a mātou ko taku whānau, ko tēnei mea te ngākau aroha me te ngākau whakaute ki te tangata, aha kua kōwai, aha kua nōhea. He take I tai mai ai tātou I te rangi nei, te tuapapa o taua ngākau aroha o tira o taua whakaro nui ki ngā tāngata katoa. Ko te tiriti o Waitangi tērā. Nā te tiriti o Waitangi I kotahi ai o tira I paingatia ai tātou ki ngā whenua taurikura o Aotearoa. E mihi ana ki a tātou ko tai mai I runga I te karanga o te kaupapa, heoi kaore au te mihi ki te kaupapa. E te minita David Seymour, e te hunga Hobson's Pledge, e ai ki tēnei pire, koinei te whakatinanatanga a ngā kōrero a Hobson I aia e hariru ana I ngā hunga I hainei te tiriti o Waitangi. Ana e tika ana te kōrero a Hobson, he iwi tahi tātou. Engari he iwi tahi tātou ki runga I ngā whenua Māori. No reira whakarohia tērā I a koutou e whakatairanga ana I enei whakaro, mana kore, whakaute kore, ki ngā ki taurangi o tēnei whanaungatanga. Pērā ki ngā tau 1979, e hikoi tonu ana ngā mokopuna I ngā hikoi a ngā kaumātua. A, e kore tēnei ahi e weto. Ka tahu ki roto I ngā whakareanga Māori haere nei tēnā. Ka ora tonu mātou, ake, ake, ake. Ka huri ki te reo o te iwi whānako whenua, kia marama ai te katoa. As one of the few rangatahi presenting to this bill, I want to acknowledge the fact that I'm presenting today. Out of 300,000 submissions, I feel incredibly fortunate to be one of the few chosen to speak. While I can only speak for myself and my kaupapa, I hope that what I have to share resonates not just with this committee, but with the many people watching and listening across Aotearoa. I've been watching the submissions this week. Some have been sharp, insightful, and grounded in truth. Not just legal truth, but the kind you feel in your bones when you know something is right. I've listened to people who have spent decades studying, teaching, and fighting for this kaupapa, and I've been reminded that mātauranga doesn't just sit in universities or archives, it lives in our people, and our stories, and the way we continue to stand when we shouldn't have to. Te Kanawa Wilson, one of the only other rangatahi chosen to present, didn't just talk about te tiriti, he talked about what it means to live it, and that's something no law, no policy, no bill can take away. And then, of course, there have been the other submissions. Some have read less like arguments and more like Facebook comment sections brought to life, the wild assumptions, the bold rewriting of history, and the refusal to engage with what te tiriti actually represents. It's all there. It's exhausting, but it's also telling, because when you peel it back, what you find isn't logic or reason, it's fear. Fear of change, fear of partnership, fear of losing control over a narrative that was never truly theirs to begin with. And while I can understand fear, I can't respect the way it's being used to justify this bill. The reality is this: while there are experts speaking to the nuances of te tiriti, this bill and its implications aren't complicated. Te tiriti isn't complicated. What's complicated is the Crown's inability or unwillingness to honour it. This bill doesn't need to be picked apart academically to see its flaws. It needs to be understood for what it is, a step backwards for this country and an insult to the commitments made to tangata whenua. Of the 296,501 people who signed my petition, over 154,000 are Māori, 72,000 are rangatahi, and 135,000 are tangata tiriti. These numbers matter. They represent the voices of people who care deeply about what this bill means for our country. This petition shows that we're not as divided as some would like to think. Across generations, across cultures, people are standing together to say, stop the Treaty Principles Bill, toi tū te tiriti. What I want for this committee to consider is this: when 300 submissions come in on a single bill and nearly 300,000 signatures back a petition to stop it, what is that telling you? It's telling you that this isn't just a debate about law, it's a moment to decide what kind of nation we want to be. This bill doesn't reflect the future I'm fighting for, and it doesn't reflect the Aotearoa we deserve. Not now, not ever. It's hard to ignore the irony of being here representing a petition that has more signatures than ACT receive votes to even get into Parliament. While David Seymour repeatedly threatens to bring this bill back as many times as it takes. That's not democracy, that's ego. And it's an ego that's costing this country economically, socially, and emotionally. As a final wrap-up, I want to leave this committee and Parliament with a reminder that this bill doesn't exist in a vacuum. Every moment spent debating and re-debating this bill is another moment of taxpayer money being wasted on a fight that should never have started. We hear so much from this government about economic priorities, about fiscal responsibilities, and about focusing on things that matter. Yet here we are, pouring resources into a bill that does nothing to grow this country, nothing to unite us, and everything to divide us. So to this committee, to this Parliament, this bill needs to end here. Not next year, not in another government cycle, not as some political stunt to be dragged out again and again. It ends here. We are not moving, we are not backing down, and we are not going anywhere. Te tiriti isn't just history, it's our future. And no matter how many times this bill comes back, our answer will always be the same. Toi tu te tiriti.
Kia ora Mairangi, thank you for your submission and well done for the advocacy work. It's always good to see young rangatahi here. I've got a professional interest in that now, so I'd just like to thank you for being with us. Not only do you have a great surname, you've got a great sense of style, and so I'm going to hand over to Hannah to ask the first question, and then we'll go Todd and Tabitha.
Tēnā rā koe I te komiti whakahaere. Tēnā rā koe te tuahine. I don't know how that happened. Nei rā te mihi ki a koe me o mahi nunui kua tutuki a koe ki te kaue mai te pitihana ki konei ki te tuapapa o te wharepare I nā te mahi nui ko tēnā. Tata atu I te torurau mano ngā hainatanga kua kohi ai e koe, no reira, mihi kau atu ki a koe. Tahi noa te pātai ki a koe, ki te tutuki tēnei pire, moiho kaiwana taiwa tahi he uri no ngā whakareanga kua tupu ake I roto I te kohanga waihoki I roto I ngā kura kaipa Māori pēnei te koutu me te wharekura o rākau manga. Ki te tutuki tēnei pire, ka ahatia ki a koe anō ki tō tātou nei ukaipo o mātou nei wharekura kura kaipapa hoki. Tēnā space.
Ngā mihi, ka whakautu pei roto I te reo Pākehā. I think that for us it just means we're constantly having to debate why we deserve to be in these places, and no matter how educated or how much we try and push back, they're always saying that we have to debate. And I think for us as rangatahi and those of us who have grown up in our papakainga, we're really accustomed to that. So this isn't anything new, but I think our biggest loss is just the waste of pūtau that could be going to support better Māori and, well, all initiatives really.
Kia ora.
Kia ora, Mairangi. I do have probably time for one more quick question from Todd.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for making the time to submit. I just want to check, do you think that the treaty guarantees specific rights based on ancestry?
I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Probably Tabitha, if you're real quick.
Yeah, what do you think of the submissions this morning if you were watching? A lot of other generations speaking for us.
I think it's the fact that there's not more rangatahi and that me and Te Kanawa are kind of having to carry it all on our own. Yeah.
That's not good enough.
Thanks, Mairangi.
It's kind of interesting how Todd is asking each submitter, when they've stated that they're not a lawyer, whether or not they think that the treaty gives Māori special rights. I think that's a bit cheeky of him to actually ask that question, because these are citizens. They're not lawyers. They're not academics. These are just regular Joes that are coming up and sharing their opinion. So I don't know why he's doing that.
Yeah, that's a question.
It is weird. It's like, do you think you have special rights or specific rights? And it's like, okay, those are two very similar words, special and specific. They sound similar, but they're not the same thing, right? Māori are not guaranteed more rights. Okay, it's again, it really.
Is he trying to make us feel bad about speaking on behalf of our ancestors?
It's just weird why he keeps bringing up that question over and over and over again. It's like, that's a question you would ask a lawyer. That's not a question you would ask an average person.
It does sound more like a lawyer question, like you're meant to answer this question like swearing in till I tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth. I don't believe that my ancestors give me special rights.
I mean, what is he going to do with that information? Oh, look, X amount of submitters believe they have more rights than Pākehā. Ha ha, see, lol, we need the bill. It's like, no, it's, no.
Yeah. Maybe.
I'm very...
I just think just play that submission again. That's all we need to do, and just put that on repeat. And that's educational enough.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like Citizen Gold said, it's a trap. that fish-headed dude from Star Wars.
Roger.
Okay, so shall we go on?
Oh no, we were lulled into a false sense of comfortable
Yeah.
debate. Did you want to discuss your submission, or are we going to wait, continue into that toward the end?
I think it's more important that we hear from people that do video submissions. I can upload my submission at a separate time. I was considering going over it on the stream, but it is a lengthy submission, and I don't think people want to listen to like 20 minutes of me talking non-stop. So yeah, I'll save that for another time. But yes, I'm ready to be Ray.